Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is October 30th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland has greenlit the arrest of Donald J. Trump for the date of October 31st, Halloween. For crimes he did not commit, specifically to trigger a second American Civil War in the United States. So before I get into the potential scenarios, I'm just going to quickly highlight the numerology involved. The date of October 31st marks exactly 169 days since former FBI Director James Comey tweeted or posted on Instagram a meme of the number 8647 on the beach with seashells. And the number 8647, 86 means to throw out or to kill, and 47 is the 47th President of the United States. And consequently, it appears that this meme was designed to foreshadow the FBI-based arrest of Trump for crimes he did not commit. As we all know, James Comey was indicted on 2 different counts for obstruction of justice, I believe, and lying to Congress. And so the CIA has set up this paradigm, if you will, between Comey and Trump. And so Comey is likely going to be the person that is going to murder Trump in custody on the date of October 31st. And this date, of course, of the 31st marks 169 days. So we have the number 169. The 16 is found in the logo of the CIA, the 16-pointed CIA star, and then, of course, the number 19 is an acronym which equates to the letter S, which is an acronym for Switzerland. And so we have basically the Swiss CIA. This number is 169. Is the number of the CIA, essentially, and they're going to arrest Trump and murder him, most likely in custody, on this particular date. Also, the date of October 31st marks exactly 284 days since Trump was sworn into office back on January 20th of 2025. Of course, the number 24 equates to the letter X, which is the international symbol of death. And then we have the number 28, which is found in the FBI raid of 8/8/2022, August 8th of 2022. And so this suggests that Trump will be raided by the FBI and then he will be murdered in custody, most likely under the guise of a self-inflicted suicide, under the guise of shame, fear, or a mental break. Or he will be physically killed, most likely via asphyxiation after allegedly attacking law enforcement officers. Or Trump will suffer some sort of medical-related emergency where he will be hospitalized and subsequently murdered in an ancient, esoteric, and ritualistic blood sacrifice. Also, the date of October 31st marks exactly 1,180 days since the CIA staged the aforementioned FBI raid targeting Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, back on August 8th of 2022. Of course, number 18 or 81 is the Swiss National Day of August 1st, which is basically the July 4th of Switzerland, and this is basically because Switzerland is going to celebrate the termination, the neutralization of a sitting U.S. president on this particular date via their CIA in the United States. Also, lastly, the date of October 31st marks 28,994 days since Donald J. Trump was born in Queens, New York, back on June 14th of 1946. Of course, again, the number 24, it equates to letter X, which is the international symbol of death. Number 28, again, is found in the FBI raid of August 8th, 8/8 of 2022. And then, of course, the number 88, which is found in the FBI raid of 2022 in the amount of days that Trump has been in office, 284, and in the number of Trump, the days that Trump is old on this particular date, 28,994. The number 28 is 2 8s, which is 88, which is found in the formation of Switzerland, the modern state of Switzerland, which was formed back on April 19th of 1878. Consequently, it's highly likely that Donald J. Trump is going to be murdered in some form or fashion after being allegedly arrested for crimes he did not commit on this particular date. So, exactly what type of crimes the CIA plans to frame a sitting U.S. president for is obviously not known. Um, I have published roughly 100 different scenarios, but I'm just going to quickly highlight the top five most likely for this particular date. These are the most recent scenarios. So, number one, Trump is likely going to be arrested and subsequently murdered in custody for greenlighting the extrajudicial killings of alleged Colombian and Venezuelan narco terrorists. So to date, starting on September 1st of 2025, Trump has authorized the neutralization via the United States Navy of 14 drug vessels, 13 ships, one submarine, resulting in the death of 61 alleged narco terrorists. So basically, they're going to claim because there was no judicial proceedings and that a court of law did not authorize this, that Trump has basically gone rogue and that he's killing people without proper congressional approval. And so this is the most likely scenario. Number two is that the CIA arrests Donald J. Trump and or Donald J. Trump Jr. For some sort of crime related to the U.S. Pentagon, the Department of Defense, granting a contract to Unusual Machines, which is a drone company in Florida, which Donald Trump Jr. Invested $4 million and is now sitting on the board, advisory board. So he invested $4 million. He was granted a position on the board, and then he was the Department of Defense was subsequently awarded a contract to this company, which obviously increased the stock price tremendously. So they're going to say arrest Trump and or his son for allegedly rigging this contract, when in reality, this is likely. This contract was likely awarded specifically to arrest Trump and frame Trump for allegedly insider dealings, bribery, what have you, quid pro quo, some sort of quid pro quo agreement. Number three is that the CIA arrests Trump for crimes he did not commit for allegedly taking bribes on his trip to Asia. So the last week, Trump visited Malaysia, Japan, and South Korea. During this trip, he was awarded many gifts from heads of state, including a gold golf ball, a gold golf club, a gold crown, and all sorts of different awards. And they will claim that Trump received cash or gold or money or art or monies or some sort of payment for awarding contracts to these countries and lowering tariffs to these countries. Some sort of crimes related to his trip to Asia. Fourthly, what I'm calling Operation Agent 0047 is that the CIA plans to arrest Trump for being a foreign agent, acting as a foreign agent, and or selling state secrets to Malaysia, Japan, or South Korea. It is also imperative to note that during this trip, Trump met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Busan, South Korea, and so they will likely claim that he sold state secrets to Xi Jinping or that he disclosed information about U.S. military secrets and what have you. And last but not least is number five, which I call Operation 130 Million Reasons, is that back on October 24th, October 24th, billionaire Timothy Mellon wrote a check, a $130 million check to the United States Department of Defense to pay the soldiers, the United States Armed Forces, that are currently going without pay due to the Democrat-induced 2025 U.S. federal government shutdown. And so the CIA will likely claim that Trump is basically paying his private army and that he is basically violating some sort of clause within the Constitution or within the U.S. government code of ethics for his for his position as Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces. So those are the top 5 most likely scenarios. Obviously, I'm going to be publishing all of the scenarios that I have identified for this particular date, because the numerology is blinking red that the CIA is going to arrest and frame Trump for crimes he did not commit on this date. Once again, it's imperative to note that if Trump is arrested or indicted, he will never, ever, ever see the inside of a courtroom, because this indictment is fraudulent in nature. And as all the other court cases that Trump has beaten court, this particular impending arrest and indictment is never going to see the inside of a courtroom, because Trump will be murdered in some form or fashion prior to that particular date of him showing up in court. So obviously that will tell us that this indictment was in fact planned by the CIA in Switzerland, who is being executed on the ground in Washington, D.C. By their double agents, by their minions that have infiltrated the U.S. government. So obviously, if this comes to fruition in reality, I kindly ask that you download this video and share with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Lastly, it's imperative to note that if the CIA forgoes the arrest of Donald J. Trump on the date of October 31st of 2025, they will likely resort to Plan B. And Plan B is likely going to be an assassination event or some sort of medical-related event which results in the hospitalization and subsequent murder of Donald J. Trump. So basically, Plan A, it's hard to explain, but during this trip in Asia, the CIA tried to murder Trump about 10 different ways that I identified. And now that he's landed back in Washington, D.C., they plan to arrest him the following morning. And so if they forgo the assassination and if they forgo the arrest, they're likely going to go to Plan C, which is Trump suffering some sort of a brain aneurysm, heart attack, stroke, because back on July 17th of 2025, Donald J. Trump was diagnosed with venous insufficiency, and so basically, and then he just underwent an MRI at Walter Reed National Military Hospital, and so they're likely going to say that this MRI, upon second review, they got a doctor's second opinion that they found some sort of malignant growth, or that Trump has some sort of tumor, or that Trump has some sort of progressive cancer, because they plan to murder this poor man. So that is likely going to be Plan B or C, depending on which way you look at it. So they're likely going to off him on this particular date, on this particular numerology, under the guise of some sort of medical-related event. And so obviously, again, if that happens, I kind of ask you to download this video and share it with the aforementioned groups. Peace.